Can you cut me a banana?
What about this one?
I'm turning it off now.
And this one?
Bye. Morning everybody, back at the coffee machine. Busy day, editing this morning and loads of lessons today. I got a video question for you guys. I need to wear this because it's freezing here today. But when do I put it on? If I put it on now, I'm too hot. I need to put it on as I leave, but when I leave, I'm busy leaving, so what do I do?
Do golf.
Oh, no. So more swings coming at you today. Interesting one here today. I think lots of people will read this one quite differently to how I'm going to read it. We'll show you what I mean. Got my jeans on today because they're warmer under my waterproof trousers. And I like mine. Look at my foot joists. Nothing there.
When I was on Ultimate,
So looking at today's swing, there's an interesting position that I think lots of people would kind of target, and it's this position here. This position with the broken down left arm, the flipping forward as people would see club head. That's the position most people would try and fix. Now that position is there because it makes you functional. With the way you address the ball, the way you sit up to your shots, that has to be there. So if we look at your left hand grip here, it looks weak. But it looks weak while your handle is back. Think about this. If I start looking down at my left hand and see 2 to 3 knuckles and then move my handle back like you've got it, I would see all 4. So for you to have the handle that far back and to see maybe no 1 knuckle, maybe none, means your grip is incredibly weak, which means you're going to deliver loft often, and it means you're going to deliver a face open to a path, so your path's going to have to go left, which that impact position is trying to do. Let's get deep into grip today and see if we can get you making some better moves. Right, got 100 layers on, GC2 in place, cards broken down, AA coming, just about to start teaching. Fun and games. There we go, great day of lessons. GC2 doing its fantastic magic again. I've got to go get my car. The alternator's gone. We'll get around to doing some swing fixes in a minute. So let's get into some ideas with grip. First thing, let's get the club going through this part of your palm, not up through here, which I can't quite see if it is, but it looks like it is. Once we've got the club through this part of your palm, let's wrap that hand round and see what we see in there. 2.5 to 3 knuckles on my left hand. Now you've got to do this in relationship to some other angles which you're missing. Right, this angle might show this up quite well. You've got to do it in relationship to this. If I wrap my hand on that low part of the palm, see the knuckles, but I do it all with the club set back at this angle, then I am adding loft to that club, and adding loft is going to often make the face open to the path, and that often makes people want to deliver the way you're delivering because you are trying to hit target, you're trying to be functional. So when you set this grip on, you must do it face pointing at a right angle to where you want the ball to go, with the handle with an iron set up with a little bit of lean. Then base of your palm wrapping it round. That's going to set you up into a better chance of making some impacts that deliver some realistic lofts, that get you hitting some realistic shots and will help you move weights forward, stretch arms out, all those kind of things. I always like my hats to be taller and a bit more truckery, then I'm not sure that's quite the right look.
I've got lots of new
Has that got a bit of cardboard on the front?
Yeah, I haven't taken it all off yet. It says it's got UPF 30 plus, so it saves my head, you know?
Mine's 40 plus, bruh.
What about this one?
I'm turning it off now.
And this one?
Bye. Let's answer your questions.
How you doing, Mark?
Good.
Coming at you from Austin, Texas.
Good, thanks. How you doing?
Teeing off into the wind. What is your thought process or plan of action when you know you're going to be teeing off into some wind? Let's say on a long par 4, and you know you have to get it out down the fairway, make a good approach shot. For example, I've heard teeing it lower and playing more of a knockdown shot. And if that is what you like doing, what are some ways to practice this on the driving range, and how do you know you're being successful while practicing? Thanks, man. Have a good one.
There's been some great tests about hitting balls into the wind, and teeing it low has been one of those things that lots of people have said for many years. It's something I've heard for years. The thing you've got to realise that hitting the ball into the wind, the thing that's going to kill you is spin. Now as soon as you tee that ball lower, there's a good chance you can hit it lower on the face, and that will create more spin as a rule of thumb. Hitting into the wind, that's going to hurt you. Teeing the ball up higher, hitting higher on the face, hopefully, I mean that's not always the case, but it'll give you more chance, would reduce the spin into the wind. That's going to help you more than anything else. Now as the wind gets stronger, teeing it up lower does create a lower launch, which does in turn create more of a roll out. So what you might lose in roll, in carry, sorry, you could gain in roll, as long as the strike doesn't become too spinny. Also, as long as the conditions you're hitting onto allow that ball to roll. If it's windy and wet, tee the ball up high into the wind and hit it and send it, because you don't want to be adding loads of spin from that lower tee height. But if you've got a bit of roll, teeing it lower and sending it out lower and getting it to roll a little bit more could help you. To be honest with you, I wouldn't change my style of hitting into the wind in a game environment. I would stick to what I do. I would just accept really that I'm going to have a longer shot in.
Hey Mark and Coach, greetings from flooding Northern California. Yep, still raining. 10 inches of rain in the last week. So
snowy here, bro.
Are basically only good for bird preserves.
God, it's bright.
Maybe even the occasional cat fox. I think I saw one the other day. Anyhow, I got a question for you. It's actually about my wife's golf game. She's the proverbial 5 foot nothing, 100 nothing, but unlike some women, she really attacks the ball. I mean, when she swings, she goes after it. And it almost seems like her clubs, which are women's clubs, and I know you're not a shaftoid,
nope,
but it's almost like the flex just doesn't quite cut it. Every once in a while I put, I'll say, here, try this. I'll give her my pitching wedge. That's a Project X 5.5 MP25 head. And her contact is better. She hits my pitching wedge farther than she hits a good 7-iron shot with her own clubs. Is there anything to a woman hitting a steel shaft? I'm not talking a shaft like that per se, but maybe like an 80 or 90 gram regular flex shaft. It just seems like it really helps her contact and, just her overall strike. So I was just curious as to what you thought about that. I appreciate everything you guys do. Cheers, bro.
No problem, brah. Good question. Interesting connections you make there with shaft, because you got to remember to start us off, and I think this is where lots of people go wrong when they think of shafts. The women's head to the men's head will have a different loft. Women's heads generally have a bit more loft than men's clubs, because the demographic is that ladies don't launch the ball high enough and send it far enough, la-di-da-di-da. And this is why I hate women's and men's clubs. Clubs should just be built around deliveries. Obviously the golf ball doesn't understand what sex of person is hitting it. So if you take a woman who attacks it, like you say, and they deliver good dynamic loft, or even add dynamic loft, then ladies clubs might then offer too much dynamic loft, because they're starting with some, they're adding more, and so on and so forth. And then you've got things like weight of shaft as well, could influence delivery as well for a person who swings at certain speeds or certain strengths. I would say go and get fitted, no problem with a lady or a man, junior, senior, using any shaft, using any weight, using any club. It's more matching it to their delivery. But often the connection people make in their head is that it's the shaft doing that. You've got the head differences at the start, you might have the weight placement differences, so CGs, those kind of things. Again, often women's clubs, CG further back because they're trying to help with launch and so on and so forth. And you go and give that to a woman who launches the ball, that isn't going to help. I have no car, my car is broken, it is broken, I have no car. They're stood in the middle of the road. Yeah. I've had a torrid time, bruh.
Alright, what's that?
My car's broken down.
Knuckleball!
Bloody alternator's gone.
What does that mean?
It means they're going to take 650
Knuckleball! Knuckleball!
So to think about the way you're moving your pressure onto the front foot, I want you to do that grip that we've talked about, but have the club face set 20 degrees left, and then take that neutral grip, and then try and hit some golf shots, not left. So what you're going to have to do for this is have a very different delivery with the handle and with your body to try and correct that left turn that you've put in there with a lot more forward lean from the shaft and from you pushing that pressure. It's a great way to get the feeling of moving that weight across, moving that pressure onto your front foot. And it'll really teach you how loft can make some very different movements for a player, subject to how much you deliver and how much you understand that you're delivering lots of loft or not.
Daddy, why are you in your onesie?
Put my onesie on. Lovely lasagna, thanks for the lasagna. There we go, thanks for watching. Post those comments down below as always. Hit that subscribe button or whatever it's called.
The sky button.
That's the one. Keep sending those questions, sending those swings. I'll try and get to as many as I can. How you feeling today? You won a hole last night.
Oh, have I?
Oh, poor connection. FaceTime knows you well.